To make this even more crazier, Biden is actually doing well in Texas! Texas of all states. Hey guys, welcome back to Fair Play Politics. My name is Junior. It's a pleasure to have y'all back with me today. And today, I wanted to give you guys an update in regards to the presidential election going on between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So before I get into the polling data and letting y'all know who's actually winning when we look at the polls between Biden and Trump, I wanted to first give y'all an update in regards to how much money both campaigns are raising so far. And as you guys know, it's really expensive to run for any office here in America. Whether it's a congressional or senatorial race, it can cost you from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars for just a congressional or senate race. But whenever we look at presidential elections, it costs candidates millions to billions of dollars to run a successful campaign, so it costs a lot of money. And this is largely due to a lot of things that campaigns have to pay for, such as election ads, whether it's on TV or on the internet, or just hiring staffers to go door to door knocking or work inside the campaign's office. And let's not even forget the traveling costs and fees for presidential candidates to travel all over the continental United States. So a lot of things have to be taken into account why it's so expensive for presidents or any politicians to run for office here in America. But as y'all know, being reliant on that money can cause candidates to kind of become a little corrupt, you know, due to the fact that they're raising a lot of this money from rich donors, rich lobbyists that are funding their campaigns, and big corporations and entities that are sending them money. So as a result of all this money that they're getting from all these special interests, the presidential candidates or any political candidates sometimes will end up representing the money interest instead of the people that are voting for them. But that's another topic for another day. Let me stay on track. So when we look at the money that the Trump campaign has raised recently, the Trump campaign and the Republican National Committee have stated to raise $266 million during the second quarter of this year. Meaning from the beginning of April to the end of June, they raised all that money, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money to raise. So they're doing pretty well when it comes to raising money. But when we look at the Joe Biden campaign and the Democratic National Committee, they announced that they had surpassed Trump's totals, bringing in $282 million during that same quarter. So the Biden campaign has done really good when it comes to fundraising recently, and they're doing better than Trump as of right now. However, though, we have to be honest and we have to be fair. When we look at an infographic by NPR, we can see that Trump is killing Biden in total money raised so far. Trump has raised over $1 billion as of the end of June, while Biden has raised only $633 million, which is still a lot of money, still a lot of bread to raise. But in comparison to Trump, Biden is very far behind. But we have to keep in mind that Biden ran in a contested primary against Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and all these other Democrats. Trump has been president and didn't have to run in a contested primary. So Trump has been the sole person that people have been donating to, while donations to Democrats were split amongst many different candidates. So that's something that we have to take into account. But excuses aside, the Biden campaign does need to raise a lot more money to catch up to Trump. But alright, let's get into what y'all actually care about, the polls. Trump may be winning in money, but Biden is crushing him in polls. So as of today, as we look at the 538 national polling average, we can see that Biden is up about 8% in the national average, which may not seem like a lot to the average person, but that's almost a blowout, especially due to the fact that Trump is a sitting president. Trump is an incumbent. Usually incumbents have an advantage in elections, and for Biden to be up this much right now doesn't spell good news for the Trump campaign. And as we look through all the different polls that have been conducted recently, we can see a trend that Biden is up about 7 to 9% in each one of them, excluding a few outliers here and there. So Biden's up about 7 to 9%, which makes sense for the national polling average to be about 8% for Biden. So if the election was today, Biden would definitely kill Trump in the election. He'll destroy him. It will be a landslide for sure. But as we all know, we have to take into account that America does not decide the president by solely a popular vote. We use something called the Electoral College to decide who becomes our president. But if you don't understand how the Electoral College works, don't worry, today's your lucky day. I made a video a while back. If you click on it right here, it'll explain how the Electoral College process works, and I give you some examples to make it even more simple, so check it out. So now I'm going to look at the polling in a few key states that Trump and Biden both need to win the Electoral College come November. So as we look at some of the key states on the Real Clear Politics website showing polling averages of these different states, we can see that Biden is doing well in each and every one of them. He's currently leading in all of these key battleground states that both him and Trump need to win this election. When we look at Wisconsin, which is very necessary to win the election, Biden's up about 5%. Look at North Carolina, Biden's up about 4.6%. We look at Florida, Biden's up by about 4%. We look at Pennsylvania, Biden's up by 4.7%. And we look at Arizona, Biden's up by about 2.7%. So as of right now, it's looking really good for Biden. To make this even more crazier, Biden is actually doing well in Texas! Texas of all states. Mind you, the last time a Democrat won Texas on the national level for a presidential election was 1976, and that was Jimmy Carter, a Southern Democrat from the great state of Georgia. So this is not happening in a very long time. So when we look at 538 Texas polling averages, we can see that Biden and Trump are basically tied. They're neck and neck on the total averages of all the polls. And when we look at different individual polls, both Biden and Trump win certain different polls. So right now it's looking pretty even. My prediction for Texas, though, I think Trump will end up winning it. I don't see Texas turning blue right now, but I do think that Trump might win it by only 2 or 3% this time. So Biden is putting up a pretty good fight here in Texas. So right now this election is shaping out to be a very historic and unprecedented election. And I'm really excited to see what happens come November. So if y'all enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Also, if you would like me to do another election update video in the future or possibly do my own prediction for the election, leave me a comment letting me know. Also, if you guys could, please follow me on Twitter at CallMeJRE. It's really a pleasure to have y'all back with me. Thank you for joining me today. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Stay safe. God bless y'all.